Hello students, as in this lecture we're gonna see how to find the value of x and y. Okay, so here using the concept which one I hope you all might be knowing as this types of sums we had seen in the last video lecture also, just by equating the real numbers and the imaginary number, just by converting the left hand side as a plus bi and right hand side as c plus di. So comparing, equating the real and imaginary part, so your a will be equal to c and b will be equal to t, so where you will get some equation type sums. Okay, as it is a linear equation in two variables, then you will solve that two linear equation in two variable simultaneously to get the answer of x and y. Okay, if the given equation, if the required equation, if you get in linear equation one variable, then one side alphabet, one side number, you will get the value of that alphabet. Okay, so here as this is a question number 24th from the exercise, that is the last part, last exercise, last question of your exercise, where you have to find the value of x and y using this property. Okay, so there are five sums in the last question. So we'll see the steps how to convert left hand side as a plus b and right hand side as c plus di, and then we'll equate the real and imaginary part where you will get the equation. Okay, where in each and every sum you will get the equation in the form of linear equation in two variables. Okay, then after that we all know that how to solve the linear equation in two variables. Okay, so simply for all the 4 5 question, simply I will explain that how to frame the equation, and the remaining part, after framing the equation, the remaining part, the simultaneous part, you have to try it by yourself. Okay, so here the first one, I can say that this part it is without I, yes or no, this part it is without I, and this part it is with I. Okay, so this, can I consider this as a, this as bi? So this plus 4i will shift to the right hand side, so therefore x plus 2y, already it is in bracket, 2x minus 3yi equals to, will shift this plus 4i to the right hand side, so where you will get minus 4i. Okay, so now clearly we can see that we had converted this part in the form of a plus bi, yes or no, equals to c plus ti, yes or no. So here, as you convert the left hand side and right hand side part as a plus bi and c plus gi, so simply what you have to do, you have to equating the real and imaginary parts separately, so where you will get x plus 2y, it's a real part, and on the right hand side the real part is 5, so we'll give this as equation number 1, and here it is 2x minus 3y, okay, equals to, and in place of d is what, minus 4. We'll give this equation as equation number 2. As I told, when you will compare, when you will equate the left hand side and right hand side part, the real and the imaginary part, where you will get equation, and clearly we can see that this equation is what, it is in the form of linear equation two variable, as there are two different variables and two different equation, and we know that how to solve and how to find the value of x and y using simultaneous equation. Okay, simultaneously you can find this. Okay, by using the simultaneous method you can find the answer of x and y. I hope the rest, the remaining part, you can try it by yourself, as the basic part it was there in your lower standard. Okay, how to solve a two linear equations simultaneously, this part it was there in your lower standard in 9th as well as in 10th, and even in the last video lecture we saw how to tackle the sums whenever it is based on linear equation 2 variable. Okay, so please try the remaining part by yourself. So let's move on to the next one. So here the pattern of the question, compared to the previous one, it is different, as the question it is in the form of numerator upon denominator. Numerator upon denominator equals to I. Okay, so as now here the connection is plus, so we can do a simple step, just cross multiply here. So what you will get, this part will be x plus 1, 1 minus I, plus y minus 1, 1 plus I, equals to, will keep this I as it is. In the next step, simply bracket open. Okay, we'll bracket open with x, so x ones are x, x into I, it is xi. Okay, then bracket open with plus 1, so this will be what, 1, plus minus minus 1 into I, it is I. Now bracket open with y, so this will be y, plus plus plus, so yi, yes or no. Then after that, bracket open with minus 1, so this will be minus 1, minus plus minus 1 into I, it is I, equals to I. Understood till here? Okay, here I forgot the step, as you'll cross multiply like a upon b plus c upon d, so this will be what, ad plus cb upon bd, yes or no. So here I forgot to write 1 plus I and 1 minus I, yes or no. So this 1 plus I and 1 minus I, this look like what, a plus b and a minus b, yes or no. So we can write as what, a square minus b square. It look like what, a plus b, a minus b, which we can write as what, a square minus b square. So therefore x minus xi plus 1 minus I plus y plus yi minus 1 minus I upon 1 square is 1, minus I square is what, minus 1. We know that I square is what, minus 1. So in the next step, in place of I square we'll write minus 1, so that minus and this minus will get 1 plus 1, yes or no. So here we'll see if we can see the like terms, if we can able to cancel the like terms or not, yes or no. Okay, so here plus 1 minus 1 will get cancelled, yes or no. So after that, here clearly we can see that x and y, this part it is without I term, so we'll bring this part together. Okay, plus, and this part, this 3 part, it is with this 4 part, it is with I. So here we'll write what, minus xi minus I plus yi minus I, yes or no. So therefore in the next step, this 1 plus 1 will be what, 2. So will shift this 2 to the right hand side, so this part will be what, 2i. So x plus y plus minus xi plus yi, so this minus I we can write as what, minus 2i. Okay, I hope you all understood till here. So after this here clearly we can see that I is common, so inside the bracket we can write as minus x plus y, yes or no, minus 2 I as common equals to 2i. Okay, so this part it is inside the bracket and this whole section it is inside the bracket. Okay, so can I read this left hand side as a plus bi, yes or no. As now on the right hand side we required c plus di, yes or no, c plus di, c plus di. So here we have a bi, even we have di. Where is c? C is absent. So in the next step, can I write this 2i as 0 plus 2i, as the c is absent and we know that whenever the term is absent we can take the coefficient in place of that as 0, yes or no. Suppose 2i is there, so this we can write as what, 0 plus 2i. Only 2 is there, so this we can write as what? 2 plus 0i. So whatever the term it is absent, whether a is absent, so in place of a you will write 0. If suppose b is absent, so in place of b you will write 0. Okay, so now we'll keep this part as it is. So now easily we can compare, we can equate the real and the imaginary part. Okay, as now clearly we can see that we had converted this part as a plus bi equals to c plus di. I hope you all understood this step. Okay, this one, as only 2i was there, c was absent, so in place of c, whenever we know that any term is absent, so coefficient in that place it will be 0. Yes or no? So comparing, that means equating the real and the imaginary part. So x plus y, in place of x plus y is what? 0, and minus x plus y minus 2 equals to it is what? 2. Yes or no? So this we can write as what? Minus x plus y equals to this 2 will come this side on the right hand side, so 2 plus 2, that will be what? 4. So we'll give this equation as equation number 1 and this as equation number 2, and rest I hope you all might be knowing how to solve this 2 required linear equation simultaneously to get the answer of x and y. Okay, so please try the remaining part by yourself. Okay, I hope you all understood the first and second example. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one, that is question number third of your question number 24th. Okay, so here we have again the question number 3. This part look like the previous sum. Yes or no? Numerator upon denominator plus numerator upon denominator. So we know that whenever the connection is plus or minus in between, so simply we have to do the cross multiplication. So here also in this sum we'll do the cross multiplication. So x plus xy 2 minus 3i plus 2 plus I 2 plus 3i upon 2 plus 3i 2 minus 3i equals to, will keep this right hand side part as it is. Yes or no? Now after this I can say bracket expand first with x, so this will be what? 2x minus 3xi, then with plus I 2yi plus minus minus, and this will be what? 3i square y. Now with this 2 2 side is 4 plus 2 3s are 6i, this will be what? 2i plus this we can write as 3i square. Okay, upon this look like what? A plus b and a minus b formula. Yes or no? So which we can write as a square minus b square, and here we have 9 upon 13 1 plus I. Okay, so in the next step 2 square is what? 4, 3 square is what? 9, I square we can write as I square. Yes or no? We'll keep this 9 upon 13 1 plus I as it is. Okay, so now first we'll replace the value of I square by minus 1. Let's see what we'll get in the next step. So we'll keep this 2x as it is minus 3xi plus 2yi. If we replace this I square by minus 1, so already here we have minus, so minus minus will be what? Plus, so this will be 3y. Yes or no? Plus 4 plus 6i plus 2i. I square value is minus 1, so here we have already plus, so plus minus will be what? Minus. I square is 1 minus 1. Yes or no? So plus minus minus, 3 one side is 3. Okay, here also in place of I square we'll write minus 1, so already here we have minus, so minus minus will be what? Plus. So 9 upon 13 1 plus I. So here clearly we can see that this 4 part, that is without I, so we'll bring that all the 4 terms together. 2x plus 3y plus 4 minus 3, and this part with I will bring together. So minus 3xi plus 2yi plus 6i, yes or no, plus 2y. So in the next step, 2x plus 3y, 4 minus 3, here you will get plus 1, minus 3xi plus 2yi, as here clearly we can see that these two terms are like terms, yes or no. So 6 plus 2 we can write as what, 8i, upon 4 plus 9, it is what, 13, equals to 9 upon 13, 1 plus I, yes or no. Okay, so now in the next step, can I say that this 13 will get cancelled? How? If you shift this 13 to the left hand side or this 13 to the right hand side, so 13 will get cancelled, yes or no. So here we left with what, 2x plus 3y plus 1 in one bracket, minus 3xi plus 2yi plus 8i, the second bracket, and when you will bracket open this part, so here you will get 9 plus 9i. Okay, the 13 get cancelled, yes or no. So 2x plus 3y plus 1, here will remove I as common. Okay, so here 9 plus 9i. As now clearly we can see that we had converted this whole section in the form of what, a plus bi equals to c plus ti, yes or no. Now just simply equating the real and the imaginary part. So here we'll get what, 2x plus 3y plus 1 equals to 9, and in place of this section minus 3x plus 2y plus 8 equals to 9. Okay, so as now we had converted this question in the form of a plus bi equals to c plus di. So that is the fundamental of this sum. Simply you have to convert this section into a plus bi equal to c plus di, where you can equate the real and imaginary part separately to get the required equation, yes or no. So after this, one more step we can do, 2x plus 3y equals to, we can shift this 1 to the right hand side, so 9 minus 1 will be what, 8. So here we got our first linear equation to variable. Okay, so here 3x plus 2y will shift this 8 to the right hand side, so 9 minus 8 will be what, 1. So here we got the second equation, and of course we know that how to solve the required equation further, as the required equation, it is in the form of linear equation to variable. Okay, simultaneous, by using the simultaneous method we can able to find the answer of x and y. Okay, so the remaining part please try it by yourself. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, that is question number 4. Okay, so here we have x in the bracket 1 plus 3i, then plus y 2 minus I, then minus 5 plus I cube equals to 0. So first thing what we'll do here, we'll replace the value of I cube by minus I, yes or no. I cube by minus I, and we'll bracket open this part and this also. So we'll see what we'll get in the next step. So this will be what, x plus 3xi, this will be what, 2y minus yi, minus 5, in place of I cube we can write as minus I equals to 0. Okay, so here x plus 3xy, 2y minus yi, so minus 5 plus minus, this will be what, minus I equals to 0. Okay, after this simply what we can do, after this there are two different methods in which we can able to frame our linear equation. So we'll see the first method, just bring all the values without I together, yes or no, and we'll bring all the values with I together. So here x plus 2y minus 5, it is without I, and 3xi minus yi minus I, it is with I equals to 0. So here we can write this as x plus 2y minus 5 plus, here I is common, yes or no, 3x minus y minus, here I is common, so here we can write as what, 1. Just bracket open and check, you will get the previous step, yes or no. As now we had converted this part as a plus bi, yes or no. Clearly we can see that this is without I in the left hand side, so this we can consider as a. This is with I, so we can consider this as bi, and on the right hand side c and di is missing. So when both the terms are missing, as here in the previous sum we saw that c term was absent, so in place of c we took 0, yes or no. Here both the terms are absent, c as well as d. So can I write c and d as 0 plus 0 I, as c is absent and c is without I, d is also absent and d was with I. Okay, so if the terms are absent, so in place of that term the coefficient will be what, 0, yes or no. So therefore in the next step this we can write as what, x plus 2y minus 5 plus 3x minus y minus 1 I equals to 0 plus 0 I, yes or no. So just equating the real and imaginary part, equating real and imaginary part separately, so where you will get x plus 2y minus 5 equals to 0, and the second one 3x minus y minus 1 equals to 0. So therefore x plus 2y equal to 5. Here we got the equation number 1, and the second equation will be what, 3x minus y equals to 1. So here we got the equation number 2, and rest I hope you all might be knowing how to proceed the sum further, okay, to get the answer of x and y. So this is the one method. The second method is what, after this step x plus 3xi plus 2y minus yi. Okay, shift this minus 5 and minus I to the right hand side. This is the second method, minus 5 and minus I to the right hand side. So minus 5 it will go on the right hand side, so it will be plus 5, and this will be what, plus I, when you will shift this minus 5 and I to the right hand side. Okay, so now after this we'll bring the I part together and without I part together. So here x and 2i it is without I, and 3x and this is with I equals to 5 plus I. So x plus 2y, here we can remove I as common, yes or no. Can I say, as now we had converted this part into a plus bi equals to c plus di, yes or no. So clearly we can see that after equating x plus 2y, the real part, you will get the first equation x plus 2y equal to 5. After seeing the imaginary part, so your coefficient nothing is there, so we can add as 1. So here we got the second equation. Okay, so if you solve the sum by using any one of this method, okay, as clearly we can see that in both the method, in both the case, you are getting the same equation, whether you solve the sum by using this method or by using this method. Okay, so in this way you can present your sum. Okay, so in the both the cases you are getting the same equation, and rest we know that how to solve the sum further. Okay, so let's move on to the last sum of your exercise. Okay, so now with the last sum of your exercise. Okay, so here we have the question, as the pattern of the question it is little different from the uh, previous sums, yes or no. As now we had completed 4 sums from the question number 24, and this is the last sum of the question number 24. Okay, so here clearly we can see that here we have the power of I more than 1. So first we'll replace the power of I more than 1 by the values. So we know that how to find the value of I cube and I raised to 6. I raised to 3, we know that it is minus, and what about I raised to 6? So with using this simple concept, with using this simple concept, 1 I minus 1 minus I. Okay, so this is the power of 1, power of I, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. As we can clearly we can see that here 6 is coming. Okay, so this 1 5 2 6 3 7 4 8 are what? They are the power of I. So I raised to 6 will be what? Directly we can find our answer by using this trick. So I raised to 6 will be what? Minus 1. Or else I raised to 6, it can be written as I raised to 4 into I square. Yes or no? I raised to 4, we know that it is 1. I square is what? Minus 1. So 1 into minus 1, minus 1. So here after breaking I raised to 6, here you got minus 1, and using the trick also we are getting minus 1. So it is on you, and anyhow you can find your answer of I raised to 6. So simply we'll replace the value first. X plus 2I plus 15 minus 1 y equals to 7x plus minus I y plus 4. Yes or no? So here this will be x plus 2y plus minus minus 15y equals to 7x 7x. So here minus yi plus 4. Okay, I hope you all understood this step. Okay, so next again after this there are two different methods. So we'll see the simplest method in which we can able to find our required equation. So the simplest method is what? Bring all the terms to the left hand side. So here x plus 2I minus 15y minus 7x plus yi minus 4 equals to 0. So here I brought all the right hand side terms to the left hand side. So this will be what? Minus 7. This, when it will shift to left hand side, so this will be what? Plus, this will be what? Minus. Okay, so after this we know that we'll see the terms without I and terms with I, and we'll bring the terms with I together and terms without I together. So here x 15y and 7x, and this part it is without I. So x minus 15y minus 7x minus 4. Yes or no? And this part, this one and this one. Yes or no? Okay, so actually I did mistake here. Here we have the bracket. Yes or no? I forgot to wrote the bracket. Sorry from my side. Okay, so here when you will bracket open with this part, so here it will be minus I by I, and when you will bracket open with this part, so here you will get minus 4I. Okay, so we'll do the step again. So x plus 2I minus 15y, shift all the terms to the left hand side. So this will be minus, this will be what? Plus, and this, when it will shift, it will be plus 4I equals to 0. Okay, so now as clearly we can see that these terms are without I, so we'll bring that terms together. X minus 15y minus 7x. Yes or no? And this part is with I, so 2I plus 4I plus 4yi plus 4I equals to 0. So here x and minus 7x we can write as minus 6x minus 15y plus, here we can bring I as common, and 2 plus 4 will be what? 6. Yes or no? Equal to 0. So as now we had converted this question. Okay, so see to it that your bracket is there, and we replace the value of I cube by minus I. Okay, so after this we know that exactly what we have to do. I cube, it is common for y plus 4, so we have to bracket open with this both this section. Okay, yes or no? And after that shift all the terms to the left hand side. As now we converted this part in the form of a plus bi, so we required c plus gi, and c plus gi is absent. So of course whenever the c plus di is absent, so we know that we can write it as 0 plus 0i, yes or no? So therefore minus 6x minus 15y plus y plus 6i. So here also we'll do equating real and the imaginary part separately. So here you will get minus 6x minus 15y equals to 0, and the second as y plus 6 equals to 0. As here we got this equation as linear equation 2 variable, and here we got the linear equation 1 variable. So straight away here we'll get the direct answer of y. Okay, simply substitute the value of y in equation number 1. Okay, equation number 1. So therefore minus 6x minus 15 minus 6 equals to 0. So therefore minus 6x minus minus plus 15 6 are 19 equals to 0, yes or no? So therefore minus 6x, okay, minus 6x minus 90, so minus will get cancelled. So therefore here you will get x equals to 90 upon 6. So 90 upon 6 is what? 15. So here we got the answer of x and y. Okay, so now in this question there is one twist. The twist is what? After finding the x and y, here one more question they had asked to find x plus y, find the value of x plus y also. So after finding x and y, simply you have to find x plus y. So here we got x as what? 15, and y as what? Minus 6. So 15 minus 6 is what? 9. Okay, so after finding x and y, when you will see the question in the textbook, it is mentioned that this part is there, and then one more question you have to find after finding x and y, also find x plus y. So after finding x and y separately, simply you will add x plus y to get the required answer. So as the required answer is what? 9, because the value of x here we got 15 and the value of y is what? Minus 6. Okay, understood? Same thing in the question number 4 also, they had asked the same thing. You have to find the value of x plus y. So here also after getting the answer of x and y separately, then after that the last step what you will do, you will add x plus y to get the required answer. So in the fourth and the fifth question they had asked this x plus y part. Okay, but in the first, second, third question simply we have to find the value of x and y only. Okay, and in the fourth and the fifth question, after finding x and y, you have to add x and y to get the required answer. Okay, so I hope you all understood all the 5 questions from the question number 24. So in this way you have to present your sum. Simply you have to convert this section in the form of a plus bi equals to c plus gi. Compare the real and imaginary part. Okay, then where you will get the linear equation. Sometime you will get the linear equation in 2 variables, sometime you will get the linear equation in 2 variable, 1 variable. Okay, so whenever you are getting a 2 linear equation with 2 different variable, you will solve that 2 equations simultaneously to get the answer of x and y. Whenever you are getting only linear equation 1 variable, so one side alphabet, one side number to get the answer of that particular alphabet. So in this way you can find your answer of x and y. Okay, so that was the last sum of your exercise number 1.1. So in the next video lecture we're gonna see the next exercise. Okay, so that's the end of the exercise number 1.1. So the remaining part, the remaining concept based on the second exercise, we'll see in the next lecture. So till then, goodbye, see you in next lecture.